For 4 long days. No one inside this London apartment answered the door. The curtains stayed closed. The newspapers piled up, and behind that silent doorway, a small life waited in the dark, starving, confused, and heartbreakingly loyal. When authorities finally entered the apartment, they found a 19-year-old cat named Misty curled beside her owner, who had passed away days earlier. She had not left his side, not even once. This is Misty's story. A story of love, loss, and a second chance she never saw coming. A story of loyalty that outlived time itself. Misty wasn't always old and frail. 19 years earlier, she was a tiny silver kitten with bright eyes and a crooked little tail. When Arthur Bennett, a retired postman and widower, arrived to adopt a pet, Misty ran straight to him, stumbling on her tiny feet.
Arthur laughed and lifted her. "This one," he said. "She chose me."
From that moment, they became inseparable. She learned the sound of his slippers. She followed him as he brewed tea each morning, and every night she curled on the warm patch of sunlight at the end of his bed. For 19 years, they grew older together, 2 souls, finding comfort in each other's quiet company. Arthur had lost his wife years before. He had no children, no close family left, but he had Misty.
He talked to her as if she understood every word. Sometimes she truly did.
When Arthur's hands trembled from age, Misty would nudge them gently. When he took slow steps, she walked beside him, tiny paws matching his pace. When he coughed at night, she curled closer, purring softly, as if trying to heal him.
Neighbors often said, "You cannot talk about Arthur without talking about Misty. They are one."
But time does not ask permission. Arthur grew weaker. His steps slowed. He stopped going out except for essentials. Misty stayed closer than ever, watching him, guarding him, sensing something no one else could. On a cold November morning, Arthur didn't come downstairs, he didn't open the curtains, he didn't pick up the newspapers outside his door. But from inside, neighbors heard Misty's soft cry, faint, plaintive meow. A cry of confusion, a cry of fear, a cry of loss. After 4 silent days, authorities entered the apartment. Arthur sat in his favorite chair, peaceful, as if he had simply fallen asleep watching television. But what broke everyone's heart was Misty. The old cat was curled at his feet, weak, dehydrated, but refusing to leave him. When rescuers tried to lift her, she pressed her face into his slipper, holding onto the last piece of him she had.
She waited for him to wake up.
Misty was rushed to Cat Cuddle's Cat Sanctuary in London, a rescue known for caring for senior cats. The vet diagnosis was heartbreaking: severe dehydration, early renal issues, weak bones, depression from grief, and near-total exhaustion. For the first 2 days, Misty didn't eat, didn't respond, didn't look at anyone. She simply stared at nothing, or perhaps at everything she had lost. But then came Clara, a volunteer with soft hands and a softer heart.
She sat beside Misty's cage for hours, talking, comforting, just being present.
On the 3rd day, Misty finally accepted a spoonful of warm broth. On the 5th day, she lifted her head when Clara arrived. On the 7th day, Misty purred. A weak, trembling purr, but a purr of hope. Misty was placed with Nina, a foster caregiver who specialized in senior animals. She set up a whole room just for Misty. Heated bed, soft rugs, gentle lighting, small steps so Misty didn't have to jump.
You've loved someone your whole life. Now let us love you.
And slowly, Misty healed. She regained appetite. She groomed herself again. She slept peacefully. But sometimes Nina found Misty sitting by the door, waiting, as if hoping Arthur might walk through it one more time. Cat Cuddles shared Misty's story online, and it went viral. Thousands commented, thousands cried, but only one woman made a life-changing decision. Emily Harrington, a hospice nurse dedicated to giving elderly animals a comfortable final chapter.
I don't want Misty to spend her last days in a shelter. She deserves a home.
When Emily visited, something miraculous happened. Misty, who rarely moved for strangers, pushed herself to stand, walked slowly to Emily, and rested her head on her hand.
Misty hasn't done that with anyone.
Hi, sweetheart. Would you like to come home with me?
It felt as if Misty had chosen again. Emily's home was calm, quiet, and perfect for seniors. Misty was welcomed by two elderly cats, Hazel and Pumpkin. Together they formed an unspoken bond of gentle souls nearing their final journeys. Misty's days were filled with warm meals, soft blankets, medication hidden in treats, afternoon naps in sun patches, nighttime story sessions.
Misty has the softest purr. It sounds like it's fading, but still trying. Some nights Misty sat by the door. Emily understood. She still misses him, but she's not alone.
Under Emily's care, Misty lived for 11 peaceful months. 11 months of dignity. 11 months of rest. 11 months of being loved again. She gained weight. Her coat became soft. Her eyes brightened with life again. On Christmas morning, Emily gifted her a red blanket with Misty embroidered on it. Misty kneaded it gently, a symbol of trust and comfort. One quiet evening, Misty didn't eat much. She didn't walk much. She simply curled on her red blanket.
The vet confirmed what Emily already knew. Misty was nearing the natural end of a long, love-filled life. Emily lay beside her. "You loved your human for 19 years," she whispered. "You waited for him until your last strength. Now let yourself rest."
That night, Misty took her last breath, peacefully, gently, loved. Misty's story reminds us, senior animals feel love. They feel loss, they wait, they hope, and they deserve dignity, not abandonment. Most senior pets in shelters never get adopted. Many pass away alone, forgotten. Let Misty's story live on in every heart willing to adopt a senior pet.